Spotted a really cool indicator on the altcoin market cap chart. Altcoins may be having their own little bull market door area to track in this volatile environment for crypto 2025, just the beginning. But I really want to dissect Ethereum on the short term, ADA, XRP, Chainlink, to really give us an idea of the story that is playing out. Namely, we have the capitulation on these charts that we've been tracking, and everybody kind of wondering, at least I'm wondering, how long will this bottoming out consolidation and structure last? And where could support be? What are we looking for? And I want to kind of give an update in terms of that. And I think more importantly, with each of these cryptos, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and Chainlink, I want to speak to the broader narrative that is in play for each of these cryptos, because the bigger story outside of just price action, I think, is very important for this cycle. We are in a cycle like no other, and that's why I think it's important to pay attention to these things. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. And I want to start with the total crypto market cap chart. If you've been watching my videos over the years, you know one of my favorite indicators for, it's kind of a cycle indicator, is the bull market doors for Bitcoin. It's just this area that we track. It's a bull market high to a bear market low, Fibonacci, and it's the 786 to 618 range, this kind of green rectangle. That's a range and an area that I use for short-term analysis as well. But for long-term analysis on these Bitcoin cycles, it's just this chart that I really like to use to identify the bull market doors when Bitcoin's getting ready to really start breaking all-time highs and escape into maximum velocity of the bull market. What I want to point out is on Bitcoin, if you notice this cycle, it broke those bull market doors and revisited that area and then went higher. And I just noticed on the altcoin market cap chart, it kind of has its own bull market door area. If we look at this swing high to swing low from the cycle perspective, and we have this green rectangle area, the bull market doors. We can call it the bull market doors, but it's namely just Fibonacci, right? This 786 right around 960 billion, the 618 around 810 billion. But notice what it did. Broke through, currently revisiting. Very similar move to Bitcoin. So what would be great and intriguing and very exciting would be to see if we get a similar support like Bitcoin got, and we're about to get our next leg up following Bitcoin, right? So for this chart, it would look like we're getting our consolidation now, and then we're making a move to the upside. The other thing real quick before I dive into each of these altcoins that I want to make a note of is we are down. Many people calling for the beginning of a bear market because of this move that you see here on the screen. 35% total dip so far. I just want to point out, and the cycles are very different, right? But there are a lot of similarities. One of them being last cycle, this chart had a 30% dip in the bull market, 31% dip, 33% dip, 38% dip, 60% dip, many dips. And if we go to the cycle now, we're in like this first major dip. Other than this consolidation from, kind of going into Bitcoin halving of 37%, we're in like this first major dip of the bull market. And so I just wanted to put that into perspective as we continue watching the macro, but also really starting to zoom in on the charts. And so let's start with Ethereum, and then we'll kind of work our way through these altcoins. And like I said, I want to point out, before we even look at the chart, I just want to point out what is actually happening right now. So I just went on X, ETH whales. Here are the headlines today. BlackRock buys 100,000 ETH worth $284 million. Fidelity buys 9,552 ETH worth $26 million. And besides that, the setup for Ethereum that is happening right now is just insane. The narratives, you can just scroll down. Institutions buying in. Pro-crypto SEC, pro-crypto. The bullishness of this cycle is like no other. And I just want to point that out. I just saw Eric Trump. He was just posting about Bitcoin. He was just posting about Ethereum the other day, saying something similar to this. Feels like a great time to enter BTC. He was just saying something similar to Ethereum. These are the things that are happening right now. And this is what Ethereum charts look like on the daily. And so if you notice this fractal, and we kind of covered this in a video the other day, this fractal is really from another maximum capitulation event. This is COVID back here in 2020. And we kind of just took it just to get an idea, not because it's going to mimic it or do the exact same thing, but just to get an idea of the volatility that could be in play. And I think the biggest thing out of most of these moves, and it's not just the COVID move, it's just when we get these capitulation moves, really what I'm waiting for is kind of like, if we don't get this just beautiful wick and just straight up bounce to the upside right off of it, and we start trickling down where support. And for me, it's very simply just looking at these higher low supports. We can kind of take this time frame and shorten it to 6 hours to get a better structure, swing low to the first swing high. If Ethereum is going to start falling, I'd be watching this area, $2,300. But right now, you can see it's kind of been hovering above that Fibonacci down there. And if we go back to the daily chart, this is what I'd be looking for the upside. Can Ethereum make a power move to and through these moving averages? The 200, the 20, the 50, all the way up here around $3,300, just below $3,300. The one thing I want to point out, and I think the benefit is where we are in this cycle right now. I think we're really in this part of the 4-year cycle where I think altcoins are very prepped to go higher, right? So this could maybe bring us out of this consolidation sooner than later. But when we get these big fall offs, one thing you will notice is, we get that bounce, and it's kind of like the bounce that we're in right now. People get excited, but you just notice how it ranges for a while, right? This wasn't even that long ago. This was in August 2024. And it's kind of like, are we going to have that type of deal? And that's why I like to just track where is support in that type of environment. And for Ethereum, it's down there. And we can kind of take this and apply it across all of these charts. One thing I did want to note about Ethereum right now that I thought was really kind of cool was Ethereum fell below this lower trend line in this capitulation, the lower trend line of this massive triangle. If you go back to the COVID capitulation, notice what it did there. It fell below a massive triangle back then as well, and then eventually made its way out of there, and this was just explosive move to the upside for Ethereum. But notice the importance of breaking through these moving averages in that move, right? Getting above those moving averages was key to really start confirming the reversal. So that's what I'm watching for Ethereum, and it's very simple data that I'm watching. So support as well as the resistance of these moving averages. Let's just see how quickly Ethereum can make its move. Going over to Cardano, just a reminder, because we're in the month of February. I don't know if you saw this. This is January 24th, but check this out.
Hey, wow.
Okay. That's Trump.
Charles Hoskinson signaling that he's in communication with President Trump. And then we have this post. George, Cryptos R Us, says, Charles, and this was from yesterday, Charles Hoskinson definitely meeting with the Trump administration. Could ADA be the blockchain of choice for the U.S. government, including Doge? And so this is a narrative right now that Cardano has. There's something in store for February that I think Charles even hinted at. And so it's going to be very, telling to see how that plays into not just Cardano price action, but just crypto price action in general as we do bounce off of this capitulation and continue just to find our way, right? To support if we're going lower or higher through resistance. So for ADA, it's kind of a similar thing. We have a fractal for ADA, and the fractal isn't to be an exact guide, but it is just to kind of give an illustration of a lot of times the tendency of these cryptos and how they kind of play out. And you notice on ADA, if we look at this kind of fractal, similar thing, this just higher low area of support that ADA put in on this fractal, and this was a fractal from COVID 2020. And if we get rid of that and we just look at ADA right now, very similar, right? To Ethereum, swing low, bouncing to the upside. And if we kind of shorten this to like a 4-hour, we get kind of a better structure. And this is what we're looking at. Again, very similar to Ethereum, swing low to swing high. ADA, is it even going to make the move and start falling to this lower high Fibonacci? And if it does, this is more of a higher low Fibonacci, 62 cents to 57 cents. That would be a normal consolidation, a grueling consolidation move for ADA. But just like Ethereum, we're looking to see if ADA can just kind of escape all of that capitulation, start putting in short-term higher highs and higher lows. And really for ADA, especially important is breaking back above this area, because if we change this to a weekly chart, that's a very important area for ADA. It is the lower range of the bull market doors. You can see this weekly candle right now testing the 220-week moving averages. This 75-cent area is pretty crucial for ADA right now. So that's an area that I'm going to be watching over the next 3 days, 22 hours on this weekly candle. How can ADA close? Can ADA get the power move to kind of make a close at the very least above this area? But the sooner the better. I don't know if it'll be this week or not, but the sooner the better. ADA getting back within this bull market door range. Very important move. That's what I'll be watching. We pivot to XRP. Similar to Cardano and Ethereum, they both have their own narratives, their own bullishness. Coin Bureau says Cardano, ADA, and Ripple partnership coming soon. So that's one thing Ripple has, RLUSD and integrations. What is that going to do for XRP? And then also this. A seat on Donald Trump's Crypto Advisory Council has become the hottest ticket in Washington. And then it goes on, Kraken's former general counsel, Marco Santori, Ripple founder, Brad Garlinghouse on the short list for the group's 24 seats. Sources told NY Next. So this is a big narrative right now for XRP. And these things, if they get announced and this news starts dropping and we're in this very crucial window of the 4-year cycle, namely the bull market, you can see how we could get reversals out of this capitulation for these charts, right? And so that's XRP's story that has going on right now. And again, here's a similar fractal. I don't mean to just kind of harp on these fractals, but I'm just really just trying to really represent and show how consolidation could take some time, right? And namely, the biggest thing that I like to do is just look for those higher low supports. And so similar to ADA and ETH, this is what it looks like for XRP. Down here around 216 to around $1.98 for ETH for support if crypto keeps falling. The sentiment, it's just already so bad. I've been talking about it. It's so bad. It will get even worse if we start getting these moves of these altcoins. But I will say it would not be out of the ordinary at all to come test this area. Whether or not it holds or not, that's another story. We'll track if it happens, but not out of the ordinary at all. What we want to see, obviously, is not to even revisit the area. Just start breaking to the upside. And when it comes, once again, to the moving averages, getting back above those moving averages and continuing the trend of a bull market. Higher highs and higher lows above the moving averages. So that is XRP. Chainlink. Here's Chainlink. Chainlink powers like everything. 2,700 integrations, 50,000 devs, 1.5 million plus community members, bridging traditional markets to blockchains, enabling secure DeFi applications, powering tokenized assets and RWAs, real world assets. Just look at it. It connects everything. Chainlink is just a giant. And I think the chart is actually really cool. I have the fractal there. Again, you get the story when it comes to these fractals. One thing I wanted to talk about with Chainlink, as we are waiting for things to bottom out, consolidate, look at this trend line going back years to 2021. Kind of this inverse head and shoulders, right? We broke the neckline. It's a downward sloping neckline, but we broke the neckline, and in this capitulation have revisited the neckline right at the 200-day moving average. I'm so curious. I want crypto to bounce so bad so that I can see this just really nice technical move for Chainlink. Like the bounce off that area and the continuation up into the bull market. Chainlink is very bullish right now. But like we've been tracking, change this chart to a zoomed in like 4 hour, and you get the sense of this consolidation could go lower. Swing low to swing high. Check out Chainlink. Support would be 18.3 to around 17.2. That's what I'd be watching if things keep trickling down and sideways. And really on all these charts, what I'd really also be watching is the momentum oscillators on, whatever time frame you're on. But we really want to see just kind of some type of higher low in play, right? Even if it comes down into oversold again, we want to see a higher low kind of form on this RSI for the bottoming out of these cryptos. Long story short, I'm sitting here I'm hoping that the consolidation is not going to take too long. And we've seen on these charts how the consolidation can kind of take a while, right? This is a daily chart on Ethereum, August all the way to November before the breakout. So going to continue tracking these charts. And just wanted to really just go through the technicals of a lot of these altcoins and kind of just see where we are in the market from a narrative perspective as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.